Hey there, I'm Steve, and welcome to Jamsin Entertainment. And welcome to the conversation. Just before we get started, there are many ways you can help. You can like and subscribe so you never miss a conversation. But most importantly, please share this video. Get the word out there. There's a community where we can talk about all the things that we love. Today on Throwback Thursday, we're looking at the first film in the samurai trilogy, Musashi Miyamoto, based on the legendary and historical figure Musashi Miyamoto. This movie is not quite what I expected. I don't know much about Musashi. I know he was a Ronin, and there's many great stories written about him. He came up with his own philosophy, his own set of rules for life. He wrote those into a book, I believe, or they've been written into a book. And this trilogy is supposed to follow his life from basically a kid to, I guess, the end of his life, or just like a point in his life. And just real quick before I get into the basic plot and thoughts, I'm not going to do the trilogy one week after another. I'm going to put other movies in between. So next week, I've talked about I wanted to review more Guy Ritchie movies, is Snatch, and we're going to review that one. So the first movie is his early life. In fact, it's his early life before he's even Musashi Miyamoto. You learn that his name before that was Takezo. Toshiro Mifune playing Takezo through the entire movie. And you're supposed to believe that he's teenager. I think they're trying to pass him off as a teenager, even though he's, I think, about my age in the movie. He's about my age when he filmed this. He's in his mid-30s. I mean, he's clean-shaven through most of it, so that kind of helps. I mean, if I were clean-shaven, I'd probably look a bit younger too, but you can still tell I'm not a teenager. So that was a bit of a stretch for me to think that I'm watching a teenager grow up to, I don't know, maybe 21 by the time the movie's over. And it's just his young, rebellious years, and this movie isn't quite that exciting. It's not entirely boring, though, either. It was just interesting to watch and see it unfold because I had no idea what I was getting into. My idea of samurai and the samurai film of always being these big grandiose films, I don't really have that anymore. I'm sure there are plenty of big samurai films, but after watching Akira Kurosawa's work, granted it's only been 3 films, and watching this, I'm realizing there are going to be these small stories too. And that's what the movie Samurai, I don't know if it's officially called Samurai 1 Musashi Miyamoto, or if it's just called Musashi Miyamoto. Maybe it got retitled as it got released as a trilogy, I'm not sure. But this is a small film. It's simply just Takezo and, forgive me if I am going to butcher this, but I'll put it up in post. His childhood friend Matatachi, I believe, and they go off to become samurai, which to my understanding, you can't just go off and become samurai because you fought in battle. You have to be born into the samurai class level. I'm sure there might have been exceptions, but that's just my understanding. I think if I knew more about Musashi Miyamoto, I would understand more, because without me understanding a whole lot, I don't care that much. This entire movie, I wish they could have condensed into 5, maybe 15 minutes at the most in the beginning of the movie, and it would have been interesting to see him at the end of those 15 minutes start his journey and see where he went from there. And then I don't know what the next movie is. It's called The Duel. I think it's at a temple. Sorry, I can't remember the name of the title, but I think that would have been interesting leading up to that. And then the third movie is also a duel, so hopefully those will be a little more interesting. Now, the one thing I didn't understand in this entire movie, he carries a wooden sword, and it's obvious that it's a wooden sword. And when he's with the 2 women that sell the samurai armor, he asks, "Hand me that wooden sword so I can practice." But the whole time, when he has to fight for his life, he's cutting people and killing people. It doesn't make any sense. There's no real edge on it. At most, he might be able to break bones with it, concuss people, severely bruise them, but he's not going to cut people or kill people unless he bludgeons them to death. So I didn't get that at all. I won't grade the movie quite yet. I think I'll wait to watch the other two movies and I'll grade the entire trilogy. Because this one is just kind of really leaving me with mixed feelings. I mean, it was enjoyable in the fact that it was different, and it makes me want to learn more about Musashi Miyamoto. And hopefully after I learn more about him, I'll understand the movie better. Those are my thoughts on Samurai Musashi Miyamoto. Actually, that's another thing that's confusing. I don't know why it's called the Samurai Trilogy when again and again I keep on hearing about this character. He's a legendary Ronin, which is a masterless samurai. Maybe it's explained in the next two movies, I don't know. Or maybe it sells better being called the Samurai Trilogy as opposed to the Ronin Trilogy. I don't know. But let me know your thoughts on Musashi Miyamoto movie, and if you've seen the rest of the trilogy, what were your thoughts on it? Let me know. What do I have to look forward to? If you like what you saw, like it. If you think other people like it, share it. If you really liked it, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching and live your imagination.